Kelly arrived at Nexus Creative full of hope to secure the position she had always dreamed of. But something during the interview seemed off. Strange questions, a tense atmosphere, and the feeling that everything was out of place. When she heard an unexpected whisper from the security guard, she realized that perhaps the real opportunity was on another floor, and the truth waiting for her on the 5th floor could change everything. Hello, my friends. I am Linda, and this is the Linda's Stories channel. I hope you enjoy this story. Kelly took a deep breath before entering the imposing glass and steel building that housed Nexus Creative, one of the largest advertising agencies in the country. She adjusted the navy blue blazer she had carefully chosen the night before, checked to ensure her bun was secure, and took another step toward the opportunity that could transform her career. The entrance hall was grand, with a high ceiling from which modern light fixtures hung. In the center, a circular black marble counter was manned by 2 impeccably uniformed security guards. Kelly approached, feeling her heart race. "Good morning. I'm Kelly Andrew. I have an interview at 9 a.m. for the marketing manager position," she said, handing over her ID. One of the security guards, a tall, middle-aged man with attentive and kind eyes, took her identification and began to log her entry into the system. His badge read, Michael. "Kelly? Is that really you?" The familiar voice made Kelly turn around. Standing just a few steps away was Jessica Desmond, her old schoolmate. The years had been kind to her, perfectly straightened blonde hair, impeccable makeup, a precisely tailored black suit that screamed successful executive. "Jessica, what a surprise!" Kelly smiled, genuinely surprised. "What brings you here, Kelly?" asked Jessica, her tone polite but with something more that Kelly couldn't quite identify. "I came for an interview for the marketing department manager position." Jessica raised her eyebrows, and for a moment Kelly saw something familiar. That same look Jessica gave when Kelly got better grades, or when she was chosen as the volleyball team captain in high school. "Oh, for the manager position?" said Jessica, quickly composing herself. Of course, how inattentive of me. I will be conducting your interview. I work in the company's human resources department. Follow me." Kelly hesitated for a second, surprised by the coincidence. As she picked up her identification, she noticed that the security guard, Michael, was watching her intently, as if he wanted to communicate something. The elevator ascended to the 4th floor. When the doors opened, Kelly was greeted by an environment completely different from what she expected. The floor was dimly lit, with grey walls and a worn-out carpet. Some tables were occupied by people working silently at computers, not even raising their eyes or noticing her presence. Several surrounding rooms seemed to serve as storage, with stacked boxes and files. "This way," said Jessica, guiding her through a narrow hallway to a meeting room at the back. The room was small and impersonal. A simple table with 2 chairs without windows or decoration. A fluorescent lamp flickered occasionally on the ceiling, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere. "Well, Kelly," Jessica began, flipping through her resume, "I see you've been with the same company for 5 years. Yes, I started as an assistant and have been promoted twice. Now I lead a team of 7 people. Jessica nodded absent-mindedly. "And you graduated from the state university, right? Not the federal one." The condescending tone did not go unnoticed. Kelly felt a knot in her stomach, the same feeling she had when Jessica tried to belittle her during their teenage years. "Yes, with honours. My final project was awarded by the National Marketing Association." The questions that followed seemed strangely disconnected, as if Jessica had a script completely unrelated to the real purpose of that interview. Jessica began by asking about Kelly's proficiency in complex administrative software, such as advanced spreadsheets and accounting systems, nothing to do with the creative marketing area that the position required. "Have you ever worked with detailed financial reports? Could you explain to me how to close a monthly trial balance?" Jessica asked, her eyes fixed on Kelly as if she expected her to falter. Kelly blinked, surprised. "In my field, those reports are the responsibility of the finance department. I focus on campaigns and creative strategies." Jessica made a note in silence, which only increased Kelly's discomfort. Then Jessica asked about availability for long trips and stays abroad, something that wasn't mentioned anywhere in the job announcement for the marketing manager position. "Are you available to be away for months if the company needs it?" Kelly frowned. "I was never aware of such a requirement for the marketing manager position. My trips have always been for short-term presentations and meetings." Jessica just smiled coldly. "Oh well, we need flexible people, right?" The questions continued in this tone. Jessica wanted to know details such as, "Do you know how to handle stock and warehouses? Have you ever done inventory control?" Absurd for a position that required leadership in campaigns and coordination of creative teams. Meanwhile, no questions were asked about what Kelly excelled at. Digital strategies, team leadership, award-winning campaigns. Nothing about the portfolio Kelly had prepared so meticulously. With each answer Kelly gave, Jessica made quick notes, her face impassive, as if she had just recorded another of Kelly's failings, when, in fact, none of it even related to the position Kelly was vying for. It was obvious that Jessica was trying to discredit her, using questions that seemed more like traps than a legitimate assessment. Kelly kept her composure, but she felt her stomach churn. That interview couldn't be real. After 30 minutes, Jessica closed the folder with the resume. "Well, Kelly, from the conversation we had and analysing your resume, unfortunately you don't seem qualified enough for the position. I'm sorry, but I'll keep your resume in case in the future you fit a position that requires fewer qualifications." The shock left Kelly momentarily speechless. She had been contacted directly by a recruiter who praised her qualifications and experience. "But the job description matched my profile exactly," Kelly finally managed to say. Jessica smiled. That smile Kelly knew all too well, the same one she showed when she managed to hurt her in some way at school. "The company's needs are more complex than they appear in the ads. Come on, I'll walk you to the exit." In the elevator, the silence was heavy. Kelly felt like she did at 16, when Jessica spread rumours about her cheating in a math competition. The feeling was the same: injustice, helplessness, and the certainty that something was wrong, but without being able to pinpoint exactly what. Upon reaching the ground floor, Jessica bid farewell with a formal handshake. "It was good to see you after all these years, Kelly. Good luck with your search." Kelly walked towards the exit, her mind buzzing. How could she have been disqualified so quickly? The qualifications in the ad were practically a description of her resume, and why did Jessica seem so pleased with the rejection? She was almost at the door when she felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Michael, the security guard who had checked her in at the entrance. "Miss," he said quietly, handing over a card, "go to the 5th floor. The real interview is there." Before Kelly could respond, he had already returned to his post as if nothing had happened. She looked at the card. White, minimalist, with only a name. Arthur Clarke, creative director, and a phone number. Kelly hesitated. Could it be some kind of test? Or maybe Michael was trying to help her? She glanced at the clock. 9:45. She had invested so much in this opportunity, researched the company, prepared a digital portfolio, rehearsed answers to possible questions. Was this really how it would end? She decided to take the risk. She went back to the elevator and pressed the button for the 5th floor. When the doors opened, Kelly thought for a moment that she had entered a completely different building. The 5th floor was spacious and bright, with glass walls separating collaborative workspaces. Ornamental plants added life to the environment, and people moved around animatedly, discussing projects in front of boards full of sketches and charts. There was energy in the air, the type of environment she had always dreamed of working in. A smiling receptionist greeted her from behind a modern desk. "Good morning, how can I assist you?" "My name is Kelly Andrew. I think I have an interview." When her name was mentioned, the receptionist's face lit up with recognition. "Oh yes, we've been expecting you. Just a minute, Mr. Clarke will be with you shortly." Kelly was invited to sit in a comfortable waiting area. Through the glass walls, she could see teams working together, animatedly discussing in front of boards filled with ideas. It was exactly the creative and dynamic environment she expected from Nexus Creative. After a few minutes, a man of about 50, with slightly greying hair and thick-framed glasses, appeared. "Kelly, Arthur Clarke, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person." Arthur led her to a spacious and well-lit room with a round table instead of the traditional rectangular one that created a barrier between interviewer and interviewee. The walls displayed posters of the agency's award-winning campaigns. "So, Kelly, I was very impressed with your portfolio, especially the campaign for the mental health app, a sensitive approach, yet with a touch of lightness that made it accessible. It was brilliant." The interview flowed naturally. Arthur asked insightful questions about her experience, requested her opinion on market trends, and discussed hypothetical cases of marketing challenges. Kelly felt stimulated, challenged, and, above all, respected as a professional. "Kelly, I'll be straight," said Arthur after an hour of conversation. "We are impressed with your work and believe you would be perfect to lead our marketing department. The position is yours if you want it." Kelly could hardly believe it. Yes, of course, it would be an honor." "Great. Can you start on Monday? My assistant will get in touch with the details about benefits, salary, and everything else." As they walked back to the reception, Kelly couldn't contain her curiosity. "Mr. Clarke, may I ask a question? I had an interview earlier on the 4th floor with Jessica Desmond, and—" Arthur stopped, frowning. "Interview on the 4th floor? We don't have any departments operating there, just storage and some old archives." "But Jessica said she works in HR. Jessica Desmond." Arthur reflected for a moment. "Ah, yes. She works as an administrative assistant in the archive. She definitely doesn't conduct interviews." At that moment, everything made sense to Kelly. Jessica had taken advantage of the casual meeting to sabotage her opportunity, just as she had tried to do so many times in the past. "How did you know I was here for a real interview?" Kelly asked. "Michael, our head of security, noticed something strange when he saw Jessica taking you. He knew that interviews for management positions are always on the 5th floor. He contacted me immediately." Kelly felt a wave of gratitude for Michael, the observant security guard who had noticed the situation. "We'll clarify this later," Arthur continued. "Jessica will have to answer for her actions. The important thing now is that we've found the right person for the position." In the elevator, descending to the ground floor, Kelly reflected on how her life had changed within hours. The feeling was familiar, like when, after Jessica had spread rumors about her cheating in the math competition, the teacher publicly announced that Kelly had not only won honestly, but with the highest score in the history of the competition. As she passed by the reception, Kelly saw Michael and approached him. "Thank you," she said simply. The security guard smiled. "I recognized that look of hers as soon as you talked. My daughter was bullied at school. I know how to identify when someone is trying to belittle another person. How can I repay you?" "Just be fair when you're in charge. People notice." 3 months later, Kelly was walking through the halls of the 5th floor of Nexus Creative, now her second home. Her department had just closed the biggest account of the year, a national campaign for a sustainable technology brand. In one of the weekly meetings, Arthur Clarke commented on a new reorganization in the dead files. "It seems that some employees were let go," he said casually. Kelly remained silent, but her thoughts went straight to Jessica. She learned from HR colleagues that not only had Jessica lost her job, but she was also being investigated for misconduct, using her position to hinder applicants like Kelly. Despite everything, Kelly felt only a slight regret. She knew that Jessica was capable, but she had chosen envy and resentment over work and integrity. Perhaps this situation was the push Jessica needed to reflect on her attitudes and start over somewhere else, in a different way. Kelly knew that the true victory was not in belittling Jessica or seeking revenge. She understood that every person, sooner or later, reaps what they sow, And Jessica, unfortunately, had sown envy and distrust throughout her journey. By moving forward, focused on doing the best for her team and her career, Kelly proved that it was not necessary to retaliate to triumph. She preferred to let life itself settle the score, and she would continue building her success with integrity and respect step by step. After all, as her mother always said, what we sow, we reap. And Kelly was determined to sow opportunities, not obstacles. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 5 to show how much you liked it. Also, watch the video that is now appearing on your screen. See you soon.